All right, oops, I didn't put the screen up. Let me do that. All right, S&P futures green across the board here this morning. They're actually down a little bit from their pre-market highs, but still holding on to green. S&P 5, oops, that's gold. Ooh, I messed that up. Gold, by the way, gold futures up 0.48%, but S&P futures up 0.13%, Dow futures up 0.17%, and the NASDAQ up 0.14%. So we are technically slightly in the green, but we are very, very close to flat. So let's see what happens when the market opens here today. Let's also take a look at some cues from last session here. Sectors with the biggest losses on Thursday included energy, consumer discretionary, and real estate, with most of the S&P 500 closing in the red. However, materials and information technology stocks bucked the trend, helping U.S. stocks settle higher as the S&P 500 hit a new record, with investors shrugging off the government shutdown concerns. Pushing its market capitalization to a record $4.6 trillion, NVIDIA, ticker NVDA, rose around 1%, extending its winning streak to a sixth consecutive session. Advanced Micro Devices, ticker AMD, surged 3.5% after Semaphore reports suggesting Intel may add AMD as a foundry customer. Intel shares also advanced 2.2%, on track for their highest close since April of 2024. Now, as mentioned, Wall Street was unfazed by the shutdown as the AI-led optimism led the markets higher, even as most S&P sectors declined on Thursday. Information technology and communication services did advance. The next opportunity to hold a vote on the government shutdown will be later today, as the chamber was out on Thursday in observance of Yom Kippur. Meanwhile, President Trump once again floated the idea of issuing rebate checks to Americans funded by the hundreds of billions of dollars in tariff revenue imposed by his administration. When asked about what he intends to do with all the money, Trump said that his priority is paying down the nation's massive debt. But he added that, quote, "We also might make a distribution to the people," end quote, describing the plan as, quote, "a dividend to the people of America," end quote. The 10-year Treasury bond yielded 4.09%, and the 2-year bond was at 3.55%.